Hey, can I tell you a little secret? Confidence isn't this magical thing that only cool people have. It's not some rare gene you're born with. And it's definitely not something that just shows up one day when your life is perfect. Nope. Confidence is simple, actually. Stupidly simple. And once I tell you what it is, you're going to laugh a little, because it's something you can start doing right now. Today. Like literally after this video. But before I get into it, let me ask you this. Have you ever walked into a room and instantly felt like shrinking? Like maybe you were dressed wrong, or your voice felt too quiet, or your brain decided to remind you of every single thing you've ever messed up? Yeah, that moment right there. That's what most people think confidence fixes. They think confidence is about not feeling nervous, or always saying the right thing, or never second-guessing yourself. But that's not it. Real confidence isn't about being perfect. It's about showing up anyway. It's about doing the thing even when you're scared, especially when you're scared. And that's the big mindset shift no one talks about. So let me rewind a bit, because I wasn't always confident. Actually, there was a time I'd avoid speaking up, dodge opportunities, and overthink everything. I'd sit in my room, scroll social media, see people doing bold, exciting stuff and think, how are they so fearless? Why can't I be like that? But here's what changed it all. One random Tuesday, I kid you not, it was a Tuesday, I decided to stop waiting. I told myself, okay, I'm going to do one small thing today that makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Just one, that's it. That first day, I made eye contact with the cashier and said, "How's your day going?" And I meant it. It was nothing major, but it felt like a win. The next day, I stood a little taller, literally. I caught myself slouching and fixed my posture. Then the next day, I posted something I believed in, even though I was nervous people might judge me for it. And somewhere between that Tuesday and a few weeks later, I noticed something. I wasn't waiting to feel confident anymore. I was acting confident. And the funny thing, the feelings caught up. Because here's the truth, confidence is a byproduct of action. Let me say that again because it's important. Confidence doesn't come first. The action does. It's like building a muscle. You don't get stronger by thinking about going to the gym. You get stronger by lifting something, anything, over and over. Confidence works exactly the same way. When you do something, even if it's small, that stretches your comfort zone, your brain takes notes. It says, whoa, we survived that. Maybe we're not so fragile after all. And that right there, that's your foundation. So when I say, confidence is simple actually, just do this daily. What I mean is this. Do one small thing every day that reminds you. You're the kind of person who shows up. Doesn't matter if it's tiny. Maybe it's speaking up when you'd normally stay quiet. Maybe it's dressing how you want, not how they expect. Maybe it's going for a walk when your mind says, nah, stay in bed. These little acts, they stack. And over time, they turn into proof. And proof is powerful. Because once you have proof, your brain stops doubting and starts believing. Let me give you a super real example. There was this girl I knew, shy, soft-spoken, kind of always in the background. But every morning she started doing this one thing. She looked in the mirror and said one sentence out loud. Just one. I can handle anything today throws at me. At first, she felt dumb doing it, but she did it anyway. Then, one day, her professor asked a tough question in class, and without overthinking, she raised her hand and answered. She told me later, I didn't even plan to. It just came out. Like my body believed it before my brain could panic. That's what happens when you train your confidence muscle. You don't need to fake it. You just become the kind of person who does things. And here's where it gets even better. The world responds differently when you move differently. People start noticing. Opportunities open up. You feel lighter. You stop obsessing over whether you're good enough and start focusing on what's next. Confidence stops being a costume you put on. It becomes your second skin. Now I get it. This all sounds great in theory, but maybe you're still thinking, okay, but how do I actually start? All right, let's talk about that. You start by committing to the smallest possible action you can take today that pushes you forward. Not a leap, not a big scary move, just a nudge. Something like making that phone call you've been avoiding, asking a question in a group chat, holding eye contact 1 second longer than usual, writing down your thoughts and saying them out loud to yourself. Not for perfection, not to impress anyone, just to remind yourself, I can do hard things, even small ones. And then you do it again tomorrow. Confidence is not an event. It's not a TED Talk or a makeover montage. It's a daily decision to act like someone who believes in themselves, even when you're still figuring it out. And the beautiful twist? After a while, you won't have to act anymore. You will believe it, because you'll have evidence. You'll have your own story, just like that girl, just like me, just like anyone who decided, I'm done sitting on the sidelines of my own life. And I want that for you. So if you're still with me, if any part of you is nodding right now, quietly saying, yeah, I want this, then let this be your sign. Don't wait for confidence. Build it. Start with one tiny move, one bold moment, one fearless second. It's simple, actually. You just have to start.